Hi guys, I'm Claire and you are watching Rent to Grown. Today I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about long-term food storage, why you should do it, how we do it, and what your different options are. Let's take a look. So first things first, the FDA even recommends that you have a few days worth of extra food in your house at all times in case of like a power outage or something super short term and really typically very manageable. But a lot of people, myself included, feel like a few days really isn't enough. That's where long-term food storage can come in. For me, in my own personal experience, situations where the stuff hits the fan looks a lot more like job loss and long-term poverty than a zombie apocalypse, but I'm not here to judge you on your own reasons for establishing some long-term food options. I'm just here to tell you that it's absolutely something that you should look into. With that being said, we kind of don't prep. Not in the typical doomsday prepper kind of mindset. At least not for here. So as far as our long-term food storage goes, you're kind of looking at it. Like literally this, not these types of things. This is about what I have on hand at any given moment. But there are a couple of reasons for that. Number one is that I always have several weeks worth of food in my working kitchen at all times. That ranges, depending on how recently we've been shopping, for like 2 weeks to a month. I always have stuff on hand. This is just extra that we don't touch. Another reason why I don't have gallons and buckets and barrels of different goods is because we don't plan to bug in if something gets so bad that our lives change that drastically. We have a bug out location a few hundred miles from here. We'll be going there and there are provisions set up there. With that in mind, I focus a lot more on my bug out bag to get us there and Matthew's bug out bag to get him there than I do on prepping the house because we're not sticking around. Building up your long-term food storage really doesn't have to break the bank. My advice to you is if you have something that is shelf stable, that is on your list, that you know that you're going to use, and you have the money to do it, pick up 2 of them. Put one aside and use the one that you were intending to use, and then know that you have that extra one to fall back on a rainy day. One of the craziest things that I see people do is they stock up on stuff that they don't even like, that they wouldn't even use like ever. They'd have to be really, really hungry to want it. And you could get to that point, but if you get things that you would already use instead, then when the time comes, when you notice that they're going to expire soon, you can rotate it into your working kitchen and replace that item with something else that you've picked up later with a future expiration date. This really isn't something that we budget for. I mean, if we were planning to bug in and to stay here, we would definitely budget for it a lot better. But we just use some of our overage money from going to the grocery store. We have planned to spend X amount of money, and if we have the happy accident where there are a few dollars left over that aren't going to be spent on something specific from the list, we'll go ahead and buy non-perishable items to put back. So if you are already well on your way with prepping and long-term food storage, I know I'm not telling you anything new. I might even have you a little bit worried because 2 gallons of water, some oats, some grains, and some beans, that's not sustainable. And I know that. But like I said, this is not our location. This is not it. But For you, that could be totally different. You may not have somewhere else to go, and your plan is likely not my plan. Let me say it. Your plan is not my plan. So, what works for you may be completely different. You may have cases of MREs, and you may have barrels and barrels of dry grains. That's awesome. If that's what works for you and you're able to do it, more power to you. All that I hope to do with this video is encourage you to think about and talk about what your plan is going to be. Because unfortunately, ordinary things that happen can become a catastrophe sometimes for some people. And I would rather that you be too prepared than not prepared at all. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and that it's gotten you thinking. Make sure that you check out all the social media links down below, and if you have any questions, leave me a comment or shoot me an email. But as always, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you around. Bye.